Hey, gosh, that popped up very quickly. Welcome, good morning. We are on day 5. Welcome, gorgeous women on the rise. Now, let's give it a couple of minutes so people can actually find me and join me so I'm not just talking to myself. If you're watching the replay, please do say hello. It's always gorgeous to see who is here. And as usual, feel free to pop in your comments, share your thoughts, ask any questions as they come up. So as you're joining, please do say good morning. It's lovely to see who's here. We've got Dorcina. Good morning, gorgeous Dorcina. We've got Anna. We've got Vicky. Good morning. We've got Dee. It's gorgeous to see you all. Okay, is it Alyssa or Alicia? I'm not sure. Hey, Claire. Oh, gorgeous. Mwah, thank you. You're awesome too. Okay, who's ready to rock and roll for day 5? Today we are diving into 10 timesing, if I can say it, 10 timesing your impact and income. It's time to sell with soul. So who's ready to talk all about selling? Because here's the thing, and this is what I see all the time. And actually, to be honest, it was one of the big blocks in my own business. I knew I had a gift, a strength, something that I was passionate about that I wanted to share with the world. Okay, that part of it I was 100% sure on. I knew that I loved coaching, that I could really help people in their lives when I coached them, that I was a damn good coach. However, I had a massive block around that idea of selling because I would really get in my head about it. And I think so often when it comes to our businesses, we know that we need to sell in terms of like being out there, like sharing our offers, saying, hey, this is the gorgeous thing that I've got. Are you ready for it? Do you want it? We know that we need to be selling, but so often we get in our own way. We hold ourselves back. We create all of these stories in our own heads and we make selling feel hard. Who knows that they've done that before? Who knows that they've got into that space where they've questioned themselves, they've got into doubt, and selling can feel hard. Good morning, we've got Arisha as well. Karen, it's lovely to see you. Devinda, Janine, it's gorgeous to see you all. Lana. Okay, so that's what we are going to be diving into a big time today on the training. So the first thing that I'd like you to do though is we are now on day 5 of 5 huge days of training. So firstly, a massive well done to you all for actually being here, staying the course, keeping up the energy, making it a priority, and actually being like, hell yes, I am here and I am choosing to take it all in and move forward and implement this. So firstly, that is awesome. And what I'd like you to do with that is I'd love you to just share one word that sums up this week for you on this training. How you found it? What's one word to kind of describe how you found the journey this week with me? Because it's been a full week. There's been a lot of energy going here. There's been a lot of gorgeous, incredible women showing up and being on this journey with me. So I would love you to share one word in the comments that sums up how you have found the journey with me this week. I'll have a look at a couple of the quick comments that have come through. So we've got lots of good mornings, which is lovely. We've got Anna who's like, yes. Yes, you've even apologized to clients. Oh my gosh. So yes, this is much needed topic this morning. Vicky, inspiring. That's gorgeous, Vicky. Thank you. Enlightening. Oh, enlightening. I like that. Okay, so as you maybe type a few more of those in because I love you talking to me. The other thing that I really want you to share before we dive into today's training is what is one thing that you have either taken from the training so far this week and already implemented, or one thing that you've taken from the training this week and you know you're going to implement. So what's one thing, just one, right? Because sometimes it only takes one thing. It only takes one new thing or one small shift that can actually create a huge impact in our business and quantum growth, right? So what I would love to know is what's one thing that you've either taken and implemented already, and if you have, like, well done. But if you know that you're going to implement it, I want to know what it is. What is that one thing? And I'd love you to share that in because I really want to see it. We've got some lovely Karen. You got day and day 2 done so far, but light bulb, awesome. I love that, Karen. Thank you. Arisha, high vibe, energizing, revelation. Oh, there's some awesome words here. Thank you. Loving my energy. Okay, so I really want to hear what some of those things are that you are that you've taken from this and that you're taking action on. So maybe it was something around the strategy that we talked about and how you can tweak a strategy that you're already running to make it even more effective. Maybe it was something around the mindset of money and how you can change that relationship that you have with money, come at it from a much more loving place, and actually give money your beautiful undivided attention and nurture that relationship so that you can receive it more fully and more openly. Maybe it's around you stepping into being that woman who is already at that place in your business that you want to be, who's already making that 5K or that 10K or that 50K, whatever it might be. So I'd love to hear what it is. To stop being self-critical. I love it. People are not judging me the way that you do. Boom. So powerful, Dortina. Absolutely. Yvonne, good morning, Yvonne. Taking action when the creative juices flow. Yes. So when you have that idea, grabbing it and putting it to action quickly rather than overthinking it or parking it for later. That your vibe attracts your tribe. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. 100%. Suzanne, lovely to see you on here as well, Suzanne. Okay. So there are a couple of fabulous things that I want to share today. The first thing before I dive into the training, and I've got a really good training lined up for you today, is that the doors are officially open to my brand new academy. So if you know that you are ready to absolutely get fully booked and beyond in a fabulous, freeing, abundant way, then my academy might be perfect for you. It's 6 months. The reason that it's 6 months is that I really want to support you the whole time to implementing everything that you want to be doing in your business. I want it to be easy. I want it to be freeing. I want it to be fun. In the academy, you get all the trainings you would possibly need to get your business to that place, and you get my support. You get group coaching. You get one-to-one coaching. You get all kinds of different things. So if you're interested in that, and don't go and disappear there now, because the doors are open, and there is an early bird discount, and there are both extra bonuses for early birds. I have put the link in above, so you can go to that and read a little bit more about it. It's still not massive detail on there. What I'd like you to do is, if it calls to you, if there's any part of you that goes, oh my God, yes, I know I'm ready, I know with support that I can do so much more, then book in a call with me and let's have a conversation and really see if it's a really good fit and get you to where you want to be. Because just imagine hitting Christmas this year, being at that place where you are fully booked, where you are starting to make those consistent 5K months or 10K months. Imagine how incredible that will feel, because every single person here has the ability to do it. With the right support, with the inspired, aligned, gorgeous action, there is no reason why you can't have it too. So if it's calling to you, then let's have a conversation. Let's see if it's the right fit for you right now. Okay, so we've got some more gorgeous comments coming through, inspiring, encouraging. Anything is possible. This is a little game that I play with myself, actually. This is probably really worth sharing, because this is a game I play with myself. If I find myself going into scarcity, maybe I set myself a new goal and I'm like, oh my God, but I don't know if I can achieve that. It feels a bit big, or it'll never work, or whatever. I play this game with myself. This is so easy compared to. So, and it's things like, compared to, like, the fact that we've actually got space rockets that go into space and can land on the moon. How easy is it for me to hit my next income goal, or for me to film my next program, compared to the fact that we can just hop on an aeroplane and travel wherever, and this plane actually flies through the sky without falling out of it. Like, how easy is it for me just to find a few more clients, compared to the fact that that can happen? So I play this little like comparison game with myself, and it really flips me back into flow and into that space of like, actually anything is possible when you look at the things that happen in this world. When you look at how life works, oh my God, anything is possible. And you becoming fully booked, you having like 5K consistent months, or 10K, or whatever it is your goal is, oh my God, so possible. So have a go at playing that game with yourself, because it's an awesome little game. Maria, Sam, lovely to see you both. Okay, awesome. There were a couple of other things I wanted to share as well. So next week we're going to have a networking session. It's going to be on Zoom. If you want to join that networking session, I will put a post up, but it's happening 1 o'clock on Monday. So that's one of the things. 2, of course, I said there would be prizes for those of you who have absolutely kicked ass and taken action all this week. So those of you who have liked and commented on each video and then actually taken the action and shared it in the group, you will be in to win one of the prizes. So I'll be putting up a comment so that all of you who have done that, who have been there, who have done those 3 activities every single day, and you've got till the end of the weekend to do that, by the way, pop me too or a hell yes in that post, and then I'll put you all into a little prize draw, and we'll do that as well at the beginning of next week. So that's 2 things. The 3rd thing is I'm going to share a link so that if you want to get notification via Messenger of when I'm doing another one of these challenges or another live training or another masterclass or something like that, you can be on that list so that you can get a message out to you saying, hey, this is what's happening, it's going live, so you don't miss out on any of the goodness. How does that sound? Okay, we've had more people joining in. Say hello if you've just hopped on. Sounds a good strategy. Have fun. On your way to Rotterdam, you'll catch up with day 4 and 5 very soon. Okay, Sam. Okay, fabulous. So later on, by the way, I'm going to share just a little bit more about my program because I am really excited about it because it is brand new, and yeah, we need to share it in the world. And so I'm going to walk my talk. What's the word? I'm going to walk my talk. No, that's not it. Whatever it is, I'm going to do it because I'm going to sell it to you unapologetically because it's a damn bloody amazing program. And I think that every single one of you should be on it because I want to support you to get into where you want to be because you deserve it. So I will dive more into that later. But let's talk now about selling, right? The first thing that I want to talk about today is let's look at the truth of what selling really is. Because what happens all the time, and I see incredible women, incredible gorgeous women with amazing gifts and products and services to share with the world, holding themselves back because they've got all these BS stories and beliefs going on around selling. Selling has been something that we've done as human beings since the dawn of time. We have done it forever. It hasn't always been in the form of money, but we have always sold. We've always had that exchange. Selling is basically an exchange. We are exchanging in this situation like energy or a program or teaching or a product or an experience. We are exchanging that for money. There we go. It's a simple exchange. Many years ago, the same thing happened. Like people would exchange, I'll give you like 1 cow for 20 of your chickens or whatever it might have been, right? We've been, as human beings, we've been selling forever because selling is actually, it's just an exchange of energy. It's, hey, I'm going to give you this, and in exchange, I'm going to get this, right? But what happens is that we get all like overwhelmed by the idea of selling, and all these rubbish beliefs creep in around. And by the way, your beliefs around selling will be hugely tied to your beliefs about money. So if you had lots of beliefs come up yesterday in the training about money, and you had beliefs around like money is bad, money is evil, it's icky, it's whatever, the chances are you're going to have some of those same beliefs around selling because they're intricately connected. And we want to get past all of that. We want to get you into a place where you really are recognizing that selling is serving. It is when we sell that we can serve at our deepest level. It's when we actually help people. I know for sure that people come and do these challenges with me, and I love showing up for the challenges. I love having everyone here. I love giving value. I love it even more so when I see you actually going and implementing this stuff and getting results because of it. And I adore it when I get those messages through saying, hey Claire, I loved your challenge. I've gone and done this and like have achieved this. It's like it absolutely fulfills me. I adore it. But I also absolutely know that to get the long-term change, to really make those way bigger shifts in your business and in your life, it's going to take longer. And to be able to do that, I need to sell to you because I need an exchange happening. You need to choose to be all in. And here's one of the things that I've learned over the course of actually investing in my own business. When I first started my business, I was scared to death of investing in it, because somehow it felt like, oh my God, I'm spending money on me. And what if I spend this money and I don't get anything back? Or what if I invest in this but don't learn what I need to learn? Or what I invest in this and then I just can't do it myself? And so I didn't trust myself fully at that point. And so investing felt hard. But there are key things that I've learned along the way, and these are really important, so I'm going to share these with you. The first thing that I learned is our clients are going to reflect to us what's going on inside of ourselves. So I know some of you might be at that place in your business right now where clients are reflecting, I can't afford it, I'm not ready, I want to, but I can't. And there's maybe lots and lots and lots, like occasionally, no matter how aligned you are, occasionally that'll be the case. It's just the truth. But if you're getting lots of it and it feels like person after person after person is just coming back and saying, I'm not ready, or I can't, or now's not the right time, or I need to speak to my husband, or we've got no money, or those kind of things, on some level, it's reflecting something within you. Now, it might be that you just don't yet have that belief in what you're selling and what you offer, and maybe it's a reflection of that. Maybe you don't have that total certainty because you're letting old beliefs and things get in the way, and you're questioning yourself when you don't need to be. Or maybe you're not yet actually diving all in and choosing to believe in you and also invest in you. One of the things that actually triggers me quite a bit is when I see coaches out there who are selling these big programs who have never ever invested in a program at that level themselves. I'm like, how can you want people to buy this when you haven't actually invested in this yourself? I know that it's when I've invested in different programs, it's given me that extra bit of self-belief I needed to allow me to then go and sell on a bigger level or up my prices or do more. So it's me investing in my business has always had a direct correlation to my own business growth, not just because of what I learned. In fact, I could probably have just learned nothing on some of those, but it's because what it forced me to do was it forced me to step up to the next level. It forced me to have a new level of belief in myself and to be playing a bigger game and be like, hell yes, now I am the woman who. And we need to do that. We need to step into that level of commitment to ourselves, that level of commitment to our business, that level of commitment to our clients to really get those results that we want. I've gone a little bit off track, so I'm like, hang on, where was the thread there? But so our own beliefs and our own behaviors around buying will often be reflected to us when it comes to us selling. If we spend a lot of time in indecision, if we don't buy quickly, if we don't make quick decisions, if we're not like, yes, okay, I'm in, then that might well be being reflected back to you from your clients. So it's one of the things worth checking in on. But most importantly, and the first point that I really want to make here is selling is serving at its deepest level. And you need to take that on board and believe that for yourself. You need to know without a shadow of a doubt that it's when you sell that you get to serve and make the biggest difference to people's lives. Because then you're going to be coming from a place of, well, oh my God, like I've got to sell. I've got to sell. I've got to sell every single day. Not because I've got to sell because I've got to make the money, but I've got to sell because that's like part of my purpose in this world. I've got to sell because that's how I make an impact in this world. I've got to sell because that's how I support the people that I want to support. And of course, that includes myself because we get to support ourselves with that too. So we really need to start changing how we feel about selling so that instead of seeing it as this thing that feels icky or uncomfortable, maybe the picture you get in your head when you think about sales is that whole like door-to-door salesman that we all I have images still in my head of being like quite young, maybe 6 or 7, and constant people coming to the door, and my mum and dad moaning, oh bloody hell, like there's another person at the door, what are they selling this time, type thing. And so I got some of those beliefs in my own head at that point around, oh, like selling annoys people. How many people have got that? So what I want you to do, and I've totally gone off track, I've got my notes and I'm doing this in a totally different order, but never mind. What I want you to do is I want you to share with me in the comments, what are some of those negative beliefs or negative thoughts that you have around selling? What are some of those things that maybe you heard growing up like I did from my mum and dad, like, oh bloody hell, what are they selling now? And that you took on like a belief around, oh my God, when people sell, they're annoying, I'm gonna piss people off, I'm gonna annoy them, I'm gonna upset them, they don't want to hear it. They like, what are some of those beliefs that come up for you that you either picked up from childhood, from those door-to-door kind of salespeople, or maybe, you know, cold calling or something like that. Again, my mum and dad would get really angry with people who are like cold calling, and that really stuck in here for a long time. Vacuum sales, absolutely, yeah. So what are some of those beliefs? I want you to actually type them in, because it's that recognition and that sharing it, getting it out of here, out of yourself, can be really powerful. So what are some of those beliefs that you know you have that come up for you around selling? Am I selling too much? People don't want to hear it. I'm annoying people. What if, this is one of the things I hear all the time, what if I sell this thing to people and I promise this result and they don't get that result? So it's that idea that you take on board all of this pressure because you've got to absolutely get this person that result. Well, you can support a person, you can give them all tools. You know that whole old saying, you can take a horse to water but you can't make it drink. Like, you can't actually force someone to do it. So what are the things that are coming up for you? So Suzanne, pushy salesman who won't take no for an answer. Okay, so that whole idea of not being able to take no for an answer. You don't want to seem annoying and desperate. You don't answer the door anymore with door to door. Oh my gosh, Alison, okay. Because I used to suffer with low self-esteem, it does creep in when I'm selling sometimes, because I assume no one will want anything from you. Okay. Desperate, annoying. What if they can't afford my services? Yes, that's another one that comes up regularly. What if they can't afford it? Now, so we need to check in with this for ourselves. So, for example, there was a time when I quite often get those cold calls on my phone. I'm sure we all do, right? We get those cold calls selling insurance or whatever it might be. There was a time when I would ignore those calls. And then I went through a phase where I'd answer those calls, but I'd sometimes just hang up. And then I was like, actually, no, does this feel aligned? What's my behavior around this? So now I answer those calls, I'm like, thank you, but I'm not interested. Thank you, please just take me off the list. Because I know that it's not something I'm interested in. But no longer am I ignoring it, I'm actually responding. How many times have you maybe reached out to someone to share a sale and you hear nothing back? So maybe you send a message saying, hey, I've got this thing, I wondered if you'd be interested, and it's like crickets back. Well, my first question to you is, how do you behave in those situations? If someone sends you that message, do you just ignore it? Do you kind of pretend it's not there because you're not interested, or you don't want to go back and say no? Or do you actually respond to that person and maybe say, hey, thank you for thinking of me, but I'm not interested right now? So I want you to think about how you behave in all of these situations, because that might well be reflecting on how your clients are behaving. Because, as I talked about the other day, the world around us is a reflection of what's going on here. So it's really, really important for you to get into alignment with selling, with being sold to as well, so that all those blocks can just actually fall away. So Maria, you think it comes from shame of being poor and not being able to buy what they've got to offer. There is also the inability to say no. So yeah, so part of that is owning the no as much as the yes. So knowing, is this something that I want or is it not? One of the things I used to say all the time, and I really had to shift this, is I used to say, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. So maybe I was out somewhere and wanted something, I'd be like, oh, I love that, but I just can't afford it. Maybe someone was talking to me about a program or like maybe a program for my business that I wanted to do, and I'd be like, I just can't afford it. And I was like, one day I had a bit of an aha around it. I was like, hang on a minute, tell me this, like, who else says I can't afford it, by the way? I was like, hang on a minute, I'm affirming to myself every single day that I can't afford it. If you believe in the law of attraction, if you believe in manifesting, every time we say that, we're creating more of it. And I realized that every single time I said I can't afford it, I was creating more of I can't afford it in my life. And I was like, whoa, I need to start looking at this. Is it true that I can't afford it? Or is it that I'm just not choosing it right now? And so then I really made this shift, and I will never say anymore, I can't afford it. I will say either it's not a priority for me right now, in terms of, yes, I've got the money, but it's not a priority, so I'm not going to say yes. Or I'm going to say, even if it's, or if it's something I do want, but I feel like I can't afford it, I'll be like, hey, I'm finding the money now to be able to make this investment so that I can say yes and I can step up, because it is important to me. So I'm going to find ways right now to allow myself to do that. So putting pressure on people if they can't afford it, sometimes it's because you're mulling it over. And that's one of the other things. So one of the other things that I've learned big time in my business as my business has grown is I've practiced making decisions quickly. I used to be in that place where I'd feel like I needed more time and more time and more time. And I'd question both sides of the story. And I would spend way too long thinking about, is this right or is this not? I think it was Napoleon Hill in one of his books, I think he wrote, successful people make decisions quickly and then they ensure the decision was right. And I loved that when I heard it, because I used to spend so much time trying to know if I was making the right decision. Is this the right decision or is this the wrong decision? Whereas now, and this is what I've learned, and it really helped me, is instead of going from that place, I make the decision quickly that I think is right, and then I do everything in my power to make sure it was the right decision. So I say, okay, what am I in control of here to make sure that I made the right decision? Because I take it on board. It's up to me to take the action, to show up, to have the experience that I want to have from this. Does that make sense as well? We are going a bit off track, but it's all so related to selling. So, okay, I'm going to read some more of these coming through in a moment. You're going to try this because you're right. It's all about choosing priorities. Absolutely. You'll use it not as a priority at the moment. In future, I'll use it's not a priority. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. So let me just see where I've got, because I've totally gone off track. I've got some couple of notes to try and keep myself on track, and then I go all over the place. So firstly, number one, we need to shift how we see selling, see it as just a way of serving. It's simply an exchange of energy, nothing that we need to get hung up about or attach beliefs to or stories to. Number two, we need to notice what are our behaviors around buying that might be impacting or might be reflected back to us when it comes to our ideal client. So that's the second thing. You need to start noticing, how am I buying? What are my buying behaviors? When someone's selling to me, how do I respond? Do I fall into that whole, oh, I spent ages making decisions, or I say, no, I can't afford it, rather than actually owning it. Either it's not the aligned decision for me, or it's not a priority right now, or whatever it is, but rather than falling into that I can't afford it mindset. The third thing is that it's your energy when it comes to selling that makes all the difference. Yesterday, we touched on a little bit that relationship with money and whether that relationship has like a needy energy. We talked about that neediness of I just need that money now. And the same thing can happen when it comes to selling, when it comes to you selling your products, your services, when it comes to you wanting more clients. It's really easy to fall into that, oh my God, I just need like 2 more clients to book in, or 5 more clients to book in. I just need that client to say yes. I just need that client to book in. And underneath that needing, wanting, is that icky kind of energy of, well, it's neediness, right? And yesterday we talked about how neediness repels. And even though you might think, well, I'm not behaving needy. Yes, I feel it inside of me, but I would never behave in a needy way with a client. I guarantee you, if that energy is inside of you, your client or your potential client will be picking up on it. They will be an essence of it, a feeling of it kind of in the air. I'm sure you know times when you've been sold to and it feels a bit uncomfortable, and it's probably because there is almost a neediness within that other person for you to say yes. So I want you to start checking in on yourself, and again, noticing any neediness, any of that wanting kind of energy, that, oh my God, I just need this person to say yes, versus, hey, I have got this incredible offer, this incredible product, this incredible program. It's here. It is going to absolutely freaking well transform your life. I'm ready to share about it. I'm ready to help you make a decision about it, but I don't need you to say yes. I know that if you're a sold client, you're going to see this offer and you're going to be like, yes, and you'll find a way to make it happen, because I have total belief in that offer. I'm like, this is a freaking amazing offer. I have belief in it, and the right people will recognize that and they will say yes. And I also know that if this person says no, there are always more people. So there's no scarcity around it, okay? So instead of being in that whole needy energy, if you've got it, notice it, just choose to like you've probably seen me do this, is because in my mind's eye, it's me picking up the neediness and throwing it away. So try that for yourself. If you feel the neediness, if you feel any of that there, just pick it up, throw away, and choose instead to step into that abundant mindset around it. Okay, we've got a couple of different things. Feel pressured to buy and put a guard. Exactly. So it's just speaking your truth. It's going, hey, like, yeah, I either want this, yes or no, and really standing as the powerful woman that you all are. Okay, so there's gorgeous comments coming through around this. So just tell me in the comments, is there a neediness in your energy when it comes to selling sometimes? Or do you know that you're coming from a place of total abundance when you sell? That's what I want you to type in. Total abundance or neediness. In fact, what you could do, even if you're watching the replay of this, what you could do is on a scale of 1 to 10, like we did the other day, 10 means you're in total abundance. When you're selling something, it's like, hey, I know I've got this. It's awesome. It's there. The right people will say yes. And 1 is I'm in total neediness. I'm like, oh my God, I just need more clients. I just need more people to say yes to this. I need more, but if just one more person buys type thing. So where are you on that scale of 1 to 10? That's what I'd like you to type in for me. I'll give it a moment for those two, for those to all come in while I have a sip of coffee. Whew. Okay. Karen says, some will, some won't. So what? Move on. They weren't your soul client. Yeah, I have a belief. I choose to have a belief of you can never lose a soul client. If someone is a soul client, they will either work with you now or they will work with you in the future, but they will absolutely work with you. Okay, so we've got 4. Normally needy, but watching this has made you realize your mindset is changing. Love it, Suzanne. That's awesome. Anna, 4, 1. Oh, Dutchina. Yep. So you need to do some work on this. Choose to release it. Arisha, 6 or 7. You swing from 1. You swing one way to the other. Yeah. And here's another important thing to remember, right? Because the other important thing is we are human in all our total humanness. And even when we get to a place of total abundance, we can at times be human and fall into scarcity. We can at times fall into that place of, oh my gosh, what if no one says yes? What if no one's interested? When I was putting this challenge out there, there was a little moment where I was like, oh my God, what if no one wants this? What if no one signs up? And then I caught myself and I was like, whoa, Claire, like this is old Claire. This is old Claire who used to be in real scarcity around it. This is not how I show up anymore. And I shifted myself. And then, by the way, way more people started to sign up for the challenge. So again, an absolute reflection of what's going on inside of you happening outside of you. Most of the time, a 9 or a 10. I love that, Kez. And Kez, it's lovely to see you here. Camilla, sometimes needy, but filled your program, so you're going to get into the mindset. But half filled your program. Whoop, whoop. Well done, Camilla. I'm so excited for you. Karen, you're a 6. Jeanette, 5.5. I love it. Okay. On one level, you come from a place of integrity, but on a deeper subconscious level, you know there's some neediness there, and that's probably true for a lot of people, Karen. Like, you know, you're in integrity. Like, I know without a shadow of a doubt, every single one of you gorgeous women are in integrity, because I know that probably the thing that stops you is the fact that you care too much, right? Let's be honest. We all know probably some people who don't give a damn and who can sell really easily because they're just like, yeah, I'm just selling. I just want to be rich. And like those kind of people who really don't give a damn. Like the reason that you probably find selling difficult is because you care so much. But it's recognizing that actually in that caring so much, you can care so much, but you can still shift it and recognize all the value that you give with every single sales conversation you have. So, for example, one of the reasons that I love doing these challenges is I get to sell, but I get to sell in a way that is so aligned for me because I give a ton of value and I feel great about that. And then I know I can absolutely sell into my programs going, hell, I've given a ton of value on this. This is not salesy or icky in any way. I have shown up and really made a difference to the people who choose to take all of this on board. And those people who are ready, those people are like, hell yes, I want this for myself, are going to absolutely connect with me and going to have at least a conversation to see if working with me longer term is aligned for them. So there's no ickiness. There's no ickiness at all because I'm in total alignment with it. And it's about getting into that total alignment for yourself. Still caring, yes, of course, but also recognizing all the value that you bring every single day. And all of you, I know without a shadow of a doubt, will. I know that you will give a huge amount of value because that's who you are. Okay, so the energy of our selling matters. Out of neediness into abundance. There are two things that you need, and only two things that you need in order to sell successfully. Do you want to know what they are? Do you want to know what they are? Give me like a little hell yes. Do you want to know what they are? There are only two things that we need to sell successfully. Actually, that's a lie. There's three things. There's three things, if I'm honest. Three things. That's all. Number one. No one said hell yes. Do you not want to know? Number one, I'm in a little bit of a funny mood today, so bear with me. You might have noticed already, I'm a little bit like, I think it's because my daughter is downstairs sick. She's not very well. It's thrown me off my game slightly. Okay, Dorcina, yes, I will tell you, Dorcina. No, love it. All the love hearts coming through. Okay, so three things that you need. Number one, you need to be totally sold on the product or the service that you are selling. You need to be totally sold on it. 100%, no shadow of a doubt. You need to be totally certain that this product or this offer or this program is freaking amazing. You need to be like, oh hell yes, this is amazing. I would have this. I would invest in this. I would buy this thing. Without a shadow of a doubt. You need to be totally sold on the offer or the product, the thing that you are selling. That's number one. Number two, and this is trickier, you need to be totally sold on you. Because for most of you, you are your business. And even if you're not your business, you still need to be sold on your ability to sell. You need to be from a place of, you know what, I am in total integrity. I know that I come from love. I know that I act in integrity. I know that I walk my talk. That's what I couldn't think of earlier. I know that I give massive value. I know that I help people. I know that I have so much knowledge that I've accumulated over my entire life. The more sold you are on you, and this isn't from a place of ego, by the way, because I know that this is where ego can kick in. It's like, oh yeah, but I don't know, because so-and-so over there has done it for way longer than me, or I'm just starting, so maybe I'm not. And here's the thing though, when you're just starting, you might tell yourself you're just starting, but you've got your whole life that will also be adding to whatever it is that you're giving. So you need to be totally sold on you. And it's just a choice. It's choosing, it's stepping into that place. If you can't fully own it yet, if you're still in that place of, if me saying this to you scares you because you're like, oh, but I'm not totally sold on me, I'm not sure and I don't know. If you're in that place, and some of you will be, and it's okay, by the way, it's absolutely okay. What you need to do is you need to envision almost stepping into the future version of you. The future version of you who does have the certainty, who does have the confidence, who does have the absolute 100% self-belief in themselves. You step into that version of you and you talk from that place, you share from that place, you create from that place, you show up in that place. That's how you do it. And that's still, by the way, in total integrity, because it's still you. And it's actually, it's all within you. It's just the other stuff that's stopping it. So that's the second thing. So number one, totally 100% sold on the product or service. Number two, totally 100% sold on you. And number three, you have to show up and share it and actually sell it. You need to tell the world about the thing that you're selling. If you're doing a launch or something and maybe you're not well, or there's loads of other things going on in your life and you don't show up fully, then you can't be surprised if it doesn't fill, if you don't get the sales that you want to get. You've got to absolutely be there telling the world about it, saying, hey, like, this is my program, it's freaking amazing, this is a thing, get on a call or do this or buy this thing or book in here or do whatever. You need to be sharing it again and again and again. But what stops most people with this third point is that they will share it a couple of times, and then if they don't get people booking in like they want to, they tell themselves, oh, no one wants this, no one's interested, oh my god, maybe I need to go and think of a different offer, or I need to be selling a different product, or I need to be selling something else, and they go into all this doubt about the thing that they're selling. And that's not the truth. The reason why people aren't buying is that you haven't shared it enough. It means that you have got to up your game and you've got to start talking about it, sharing, selling even more. Because remember, if you are in total belief around what you're selling and you're in total belief about yourself, you are going to want to show up and sell. You are going to want to shout it from the top of the world. You're going to want to get that megaphone and be like, hey world, I have got this incredible thing and you need to come and join it now because it is going to change your life in some way, whatever the thing is that you're selling. That's how you need to be feeling about it, because then I'll tell you what happens then. Then if you haven't sold in the way that you want to that day, you go to bed, and I guarantee, because I've done this before, you lie in bed and you're like, hell, I've got into bed before and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't sell enough today. I know I should have sold more. I know this thing's bloody amazing, and I need, like, this is gonna, I need women to know that this thing exists because it's gonna change their lives. And I've gone to bed angry with myself, or sometimes I've actually got up and written a post or written an email or something because I'm like, oh, I've let myself down today. Like, I haven't shared it in the way that I really want to share it, from a place of love and total abundance. And that's a nice place to get to, right? Because when I compare that to how I was a few years ago, where I was like, oh my God, people are going to be so fed up with me sharing this and talking about this. They don't want to hear about it ever again. They're going to be like disowning me and disbanding me and like avoiding me at all costs. Such a huge difference. When you are in alignment with those two things, the third thing, selling, showing up and telling people about it, becomes easy. So that's where we need to get to. So we've got lots of the hell yeses. Knowing I want to be able to help as many people as need it from me, but feeling bad that my service costs can't do that. Hold on, let me look at that again. Knowing I want to be able to help as many people as need it from me, but feeling bad that my service costs can't do that. So what I'm assuming is that you feel like it's too expensive and not everyone can afford it. Here's the thing about expensive, right? We all have these beliefs about expensive. Expensive compared to what? When I think about a program that I'm putting out there, so let's say, by the way, actually, none of my group programs are this expensive, but let's say that I had a group program that was worth £5,000, right? Well, and it's actually not that much, but let's say I did. So if I had a group program that was worth £5,000, I could get into a place of going, well, people don't have £5,000, but here's a few things that I know. So number one, when I did not have £5,000, when we as a family were earning no money, we were in debt, we didn't actually know how we were going to pay the mortgage. I got credit cards and got that £5,000 to pay to do that course because I knew that I really wanted to do it. So number one, I know that if someone wants it enough, they will find a way to do it. The reason that we don't go all in and always find a way is because we don't trust ourselves fully to get the results that we need. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I know if someone implements what I teach them and I'm there supporting them in taking the action every single step of the way, they are absolutely going to be making more than that back every single month. That my support, my program is a thing that can take them to their first 5K months, 10K months, 20K months. So in comparison to that, over the rest of their lifetime, is that 5,000 affordable? Hell yes. It's life transforming, and it will be for all your programs and things as well. So whatever it is that you sell or you offer, it's going to be transforming their life in some way. So let's take Kez, for example, because I know Kez's business because she does lots of my branding stuff for me. I adore Kez's stuff. So let's take Kez. Kez could potentially say to herself, but I'm just a designer. I just create, nice, pretty images and things. How's that life transforming? So you get a pretty image done that grabs the attention of your ideal client because it's an image created from soul. That person then notices you, they come, they take the action, they learn the stuff, it transforms their lives. Boom. It transforms their lives. Or even stuff like shampoo, right? It can transform people's lives. Like, do not lessen the impact that the thing that you have that you sell to the world, the impact that can have on people, especially when you look at that impact over time, because that becomes exponential. So totally lost my track again. So you need to be in that place where you recognize that actually, however much the thing costs, whether it's £10, whether it's £10,000, number one, if people want it enough, they will find a way to have it. And number two, however much you charge for it is nothing in comparison to the value that they can get from that over time. If they step up, they take the action, they absolutely implement it. And that's key, because then you will not look at your programs, or you won't look at your offers and you'll say, it's too expensive, people can't afford it, what if people don't buy it? Because actually, hell, it's bloody bargain. They can't afford not to do it. And that's how I feel about a lot of my programs. When someone says to me, I just can't afford it, I'm like, actually, you can't afford not to do it, because this is going to transform your life. And so that's what I want you to start tapping into more and more and more, and recognizing that. Suzanne, fake it until you make it and really believe. Yes, you once told that you end up believing it yourself. Yes, you absolutely do, because you get to create your version of the world, right? And simply by showing up in that way, showing up as that next level version of you, means that you, simply by doing that, become that version of you now. It's a way to quantum leap your growth and your results. Okay, so thanks for pushing this message. You have tears in your eyes. Look, Yvonne, I'm sending so much love. Your keyboard is playing up. You can't delete anything. I wonder what my daughter thinks downstairs listening to you. Oh, I know, my kids are really interested. They actually are all super keen on self-development. So like they all go, my middle son, actually he does amazing things, but he's got friends that he coaches and all kinds of things. It's really cute. That's me at the moment. Credit card. Yes, Suzanne. So you know that you've done it, right? You know that you've gone, hell, I need this. I'm going to make this. I'm going to find a way to make this investment. Because you've done that, you can now be in total integrity. When you say, hell, if you want this, you will find a way to do it. This is a conversation I've had before, and it's really, really important, right? This idea of us going all in. So often in our businesses and in our lives, we say, oh, I am all in. Like, I'll sometimes post a thing and I'm like, tell me if you're all in. And everyone's like, hell yes, I'm all in, right? Because it's lovely, it's uplifting, it's great. But the truth of it is, a lot of the time, you're not all in. You're not all in. If you're being absolutely 100% honest with yourself, you are not all in, because of fears, because of fear of failing, because of fear of not being good enough, because of fear of like, what if? And the truth is, those what ifs are never as big as you imagine them to be. If you had to come up with 10,000, say this. Say I was like, my house is, what's my house worth? Maybe £500,000, right? So if I said, hey, the next person who can come up with £10,000, you can have my house. How many people would go out there and find £10,000 no matter what? Who would be like, oh my God, they would beg, they'd borrow, they'd go to the bank, they'd get credit cards. Somehow they'd find £10,000 knowing that they were getting something worth £500,000. Like, you'd find a way to do it because it's a no-brainer, right? It's like, well, hell yes, of course. So why do people not see that when it comes to making that investment in yourself? And that's where that shift needs to start happening, because you need to start believing it so that your clients can start believing it as well. You're definitely shifting into thinking a next round of my program is likely to be double the first round. Absolutely, Camilla, big time. And this is another thing. I'm going all over the place today, so I'm sorry that we're higgledy-piggledy in terms of this training. I hope you're all following me. Are you following me? Am I making sense? Because I feel like I'm jumping from one thing to another a bit rather than kind of going through it step by step. But hey, jumping. If it's jumping today, it's jumping today. So the only limit to what we charge for our programs is our self-belief, right? Because I've just said, like, there is no limit for the value people get. So let's take you, for example, Camilla. When you take people out of being learning and getting over the narc abuse that they've had in their past, how is that transforming the entire rest of their lives? It's massive. It's worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. Like, you can't even put a monetary amount on it, right? Because it transforms a person's life. So it's worth more than all of the money in the world. So when people say to me, well, what should I charge for my program? What is my program worth? That's not actually the question, because actually you could put any price tag on that. What actually is happening when you say, what can I charge for this? What it's actually about is, what's the amount that I can ask people to pay? What's the amount that I can be open to receiving rather than blocking off? So I could say to some of you, I could say to Kez even, hey Kez, like you should be charging like 10 grand for the 10 grand per package for the graphics and everything that you're doing. And if Kez isn't at that place where she feels that she could receive that, she would block it, she wouldn't sell any of them. None of them, because it would be out of alignment. Now, it's not out of alignment because of actually how freaking amazing that package is. It's out of alignment because her beliefs don't currently line up with that amount of money to receive that amount of money. So the prices that we charge for our programs actually just need to be in alignment with what we are ready to receive for the value that we give. And as you build your belief up more and more in terms of actually how amazing this is and what you deserve for this and how open you therefore are to receive this, the more money that you'll be able to charge for your programs, and the more impact those programs will have, because your client has made a bigger commitment. And in that client making a bigger commitment, they will play more all in. They will be all in to a higher level, and therefore they will get better results because of it. So there's so many layers of complication here, but I guess what I'm saying, and guess what it is at the end of the day, is you have to believe in yourself, in your product. You can charge anything that you want to, but you have to be in alignment with that. Okay, so what I'd like you to share with me is, tell me what your ahas are around this while I look at my notes and I see, because I've jumped about everywhere. I'm like, what else did I want to share with him? What else did I want to say? So pop in some comments. Tell me, like, what are your takeaways from this? Have you got any ahas around this before I continue? Because there were some other bits that I wanted to do. So yeah, this is something that I wanted you to do. So perfect time to actually ask this question. So I talk about, we need to be in alignment with what we're selling, right? I talk about those two things. You need to love the product that you're selling. You need to and be like 100% sold yourself on that product or that offer, and you need to be 100% sold on you. So the question is, are you out of alignment with either of those two things at the moment? Are you firstly in any way out of alignment with the product or offer that you're selling? Because here's one of the things that I see people do. People go, I think my clients need this program, so I'm going to create this program. But they're not super excited about it. It's not the thing that really lights them up. They're creating it because they think that it's the thing that will sell, as opposed to being the thing they really want to create and put out there into the world. So it's really important that we're in alignment with our product or our programs. So the first question is, are you in full alignment with your product? Or is there anything that you would tweak or change about your product so that it is in full alignment? That's the first thing. Are you in any way out of alignment with the product or service that you're currently offering? That's what I want you to share with me. When you've put in that comment, so type in that, is there anywhere, and if you're not, if you're like, no, I am absolutely in alignment with my product or my service, then type that as well. Tell me that as well. But if you're out of alignment, now's a brilliant time to recognize that so you can start to shift it. Because when we create things and we share them with the world, it should come from our excitement. That thing is like almost being birthed from us. It's like, it's that inspired action. It's that bit of magic that's inside of us that's ready to be shared with the world. It's our message to share with the world. So when we create offers, it's really important to share it from that place, as opposed to it be, I think people will buy this, so I will create this and sell it. Some of the key things have come through. That's lovely. So you've been worried that people can't afford your prices. You want to help people who are struggling. So I like the idea that people will find the money somehow. They absolutely will. You've done this for programs you can't really afford. Exactly, Lucy. Absolutely, exactly. Boom. And taking that on board will totally transform your sales. You're in total alignment with your offer, Jeanette. Absolutely awesome. Woohoo! Alison, you're in full alignment. I love it. You go up and down about your magic. Okay, so it's about feeling into it. How can it contain more of your magic? How can that offer be more aligned? How can it be exactly, perfectly what you want to share with the world? Kez, takeaway, not giving up on something you know has value but didn't sell. Yes, you put a new e-course out a few months ago and it didn't sell, but you didn't share it with the world, and how exciting it is. I love it, Kez. That's brilliant. I create new products sometimes. Oops, hang on, I can't see it. I create new products sometimes from what customers ask for, but you do it in your own way, being you. Perfect. That's absolutely brilliant. You think you're in alignment, but we'll check as you go along. Perfect. Okay, so the second point is are you totally sold on you? And if you're not, it's about doing that mindset work. It's about doing the affirmations. It's about doing the journaling. It's about reminding yourself of how fucking amazing you actually are. And it's about stepping into that future version of you right now who does have the certainty, does have the belief, does have the confidence, and showing up in that way. From that space, you are aligned. So the third step is showing up and selling. Show up and sell, show up and sell, show up and sell, and keep on doing it until your thing is sold. If you know it's in alignment, you keep on doing it. So the next question then, and we haven't got a huge amount longer, but these are some really important bits that I want to get through. The third question is, how many times, this is maybe a good question to ask you, and I'd love you to share this with me. How many times are you currently selling every day? How many times do you sell each day? And that could be in lots of different ways. So that could be like an individual message to someone. It could be on a Facebook Live. It could be on a poster that you're giving out. It could be just by talking about your business with someone. There's lots and lots of different ways that we sell, right? So how many times a day are you selling currently? And that's what I want you to put in. Is it 1 time? Is it 2 times? Is it 10 times? Because if you had the first 2 things in place, you would want to be selling more. I want to see how many times you're currently selling. There's none coming through just yet. I'll have to give it that lag time, isn't there, on Facebook Lives? So let's give it a moment to see what comes through. How many times a day are you currently selling? Some of you are probably on like none. You're like, maybe I sell once a week. So I want to know that, like, be honest, like how many times are you currently selling? You don't sell each week, let alone each day, Jeanette. Okay, brilliant to know that though and recognize that. Karen, you know you can do it, but often feel overwhelmed with the amount you have to do, hence why you recognize being focused. Yes, and it's about how do I make selling easy for myself? How can I sell with ease? How can I just share this thing here or put this thing there? What's the easiest way for me personally to sell? Yvonne, 3 times, that's awesome. Probably 4 to 5 times, that's amazing. Not each day because you've got a day job. Okay. So the truth is, you know, you can probably be selling more. So the next thing that I want you to do is I want you to start thinking about, if you are coming from that place of total abundance, being totally in alignment with selling, being totally sold on your product and offer, being totally sold on yourself, totally being in that space of, this is amazing, I know my soul clients will want it, of course they're going to buy it. How would you be sharing that every day? How would you be selling from that place of alignment every single day in a way that feels easy? Is it that you'd just be doing Facebook Lives? Is it that you'd be doing emails? Is it that you'd be putting it as PSs on things? Is it that you'd just be having one-to-one conversations? Is it that you'd be messaging people and is it that you'd actually be following up? Because that's a huge one, right? How many of you actually follow up? Because I bet most of you on here do not either follow up, or you don't follow up as fully as you could, because there's little beliefs can come in of, I don't want to annoy them, like maybe they haven't got back to me for a reason, all those kind of things. So from a place of total alignment, from a place of total belief, how else would you sell every day in a way that felt easy and soul aligned and fun? Because it should be fun as well, right? Don't forget the fun. In your own business, not each day, but you know you could be selling more. You offer several products and often lose focus. So also having that focus in, this is the thing that I'm selling. Yes, Yvonne, totally understand that. Currently, maybe none a day, maybe 1 to 3 a week. Okay, so just share with me, final thing for today, how else from that place of flow and ease and abundance could you sell with ease? And that leads me perfectly onto the task for today. Oh, gosh, I feel like today's been big. I feel like I'm like, whew. The task for today is, I want you to recognize 1 to 3 ways that you can sell today and go and do it. And I want you to share the evidence of that. So like take a snapshot or share how you did it, or a photo, or share in some way what you did and how you did it. So I want you to sell in 1 to 3 ways today that feels easy and fun and in alignment. And I want you to share in the group how you have done that. Does that sound good? So before you all hop off, a couple of things that I need to share with you. are, number one, my brand new freaking amazing academy that I have opened the doors to today. It's a small group, it's 6 months, it's a combination of training and coaching and support and kickassery from a place of love, of me seeing, because this is one of the things that I see really easily in people. I see your potential, and it's about me seeing that and me holding you to the fullest of your potential every single day, so that you get those results, so that you grow to the place that you know you deserve in your business. You know down deep inside of you, you have so much more that you could be being and receiving. And that's where I want to get you to, that place where you are receiving big time for the amazing work that you're putting out there into the world. So if a little bit of you is like, I'd like to work with Claire, I'm ready to absolutely do this, then go and have a look at the link above and book in a one-to-one call with me so we can actually talk through if it's aligned for you. And I'm never going to pressure you. I might call you out on things if I see that there's some stories there holding you back, but I'm never going to force you. By getting on a call with me, it's not like, oh, now you're going to have to buy. So please never think that. You'll actually get probably a huge amount of clarity just from that call alone. So if it's calling to you, booking an appointment. If there's no appointments free that you can do, message me and we'll figure something out. Next week, we have a networking session on Monday at 1 o'clock. There'll be a post going into the group about that. There will be a post going into the group so that you can sign up to get reminders by Messenger when I do the next trainings and when I do the next challenge. And what's the third thing? And there'll be a post going up in the group that I need you to comment on. If you've taken those 3 actions every day so that you're in to win one of the gorgeous prizes, you'll need to pop your name or give me a hell yes or I've done it or whatever in that comment as well. So there's a couple of different things that I want you to do. For now, I want you to go and celebrate. Celebrate you, celebrate your business, celebrate the fact that you've shown up and given this gift to yourself. What's just happened to my hair? Shown up and given this gift to yourself all this week. Because the fact that you have done this shows me that you are ready to soar. You can do this. You know that you can make it a much bigger impact. You know that you can make a much bigger income, and you can do it from that place of total soul alignment. You can do it from that place of setting yourself free. You can do it from that place of being more you. And know that every single time you step up just a bit more and a bit more and a bit more, and you do that, you are creating a beautiful ripple effect in the world. And so whenever you notice yourself holding yourself back with stories or doubt or those limiting beliefs that creep in, I want you to recognize that that is not truth. That is just your ego holding you back, and it is total and utter bullshit. You are a lighthouse. Be the lighthouse. Shine brightly, and the way you shine brightly is you just be you. Start to believe and see all of the awesomeness that you actually are and all of the value that you give to the world simply by being you, and just share from that place. Share your message, share what you're passionate about, share about your business, share about your offers, talk about your clients, just talk about whatever comes up. Just shine brightly as the lighthouse that you are, and you will attract in your soulmate clients to you with far more ease than you probably ever imagined. Sell with soul and unapologetically, because you have got an incredible gift that you have got there ready for the world, for those people who are ready for it. Shift your money mindset. Realize that you deserve to receive richly for all that you do. Step into that next level version of you now and take action from that place. And just thank you so much. It's been incredible. I hugely, hugely appreciate all of you being here. I hope that you found it massively valuable. And I really hope that those of you who know you're ready to do so much more will actually say yes to yourself and come and join me in the academy, or at least find out a little bit more about it. And I will see you next week, because this is not the end. This is just the beginning. And yeah, I hope you've had an epic week. So that's it. If you know people would benefit from this, please bring them into the group. Please do keep sharing. Like, there are different days in this group that happen usually. So some days you'll get the chance to share your business or your blogs or your offers. Other days, just tap in and tell us what you're working on the week. Celebrate your wins that happen every week. This is a community of kick-ass, awesome women. You are all incredible. So show up and share. And just, I adore you all. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah, for being here. Are there any last, before I disappear, are there any last questions that you have? Next week, I am going to do a coffee with Claire as well. So any questions that you want to message me personally with, then I will talk about those in the coffee with Claire. Or of course, you can just tag them in. You can type them in the group and tag me into it to make sure that I see it. If I haven't seen any of the actions that you've shared in the group, then I apologize. It's because it's been a really super busy news feed, and I will catch up on all of them. This weekend, I'm going to try and do, I haven't actually done, oh, I know the other thing. I need to tell you before you disappear is if you haven't, you should all have been receiving emails from me this week, both with the recordings in it, but also with some extra goodies in before you signed up. If you haven't been getting those, generally what happens is people message me and they say, hey, Claire, I'm not receiving the emails. And I say, hey, the emails have been sent out to you. Go and check your spam and your trash and your everything else, and when they do, they will find me in there somewhere. Go and check that you are receiving my emails, because you have got extra bonuses that have been coming out. So if you don't think you've got any emails from me, go and dig them out, go and find them, because there's some extra bits in there that you're going to love. Okay, that's it for now. Goodbye, have an awesome weekend, and celebrate you.